Don't hold back your cry. I remember years ago, I called myself moving to Cleveland, Ohio. I called myself doing that. And I went, thank you, I'm for y'all.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I'm for y'all.
That's all right.
I called myself moving to Cleveland, Ohio. And on that day that I was moving, I was saying my goodbyes to everybody passing. I went around to my brothers and all my sisters. Everybody was crying. They hated to see me go. Even though I was only a few short hours away. They was used to me being right here with them. They needed me. I saw brothers that never shed a tear begin to cry. I saw sisters that hardly shed tears begin to cry. My own mother hid herself from me. She didn't even want to see her child leaving. She didn't want to see me on that day. Then I made my way on to my children. And I went to see my children. And I came to tell them my goodbyes. How many know that every goodbye ain't gone and every close I ain't shut? But I saw my children, and my oldest daughter, my youngest daughter wasn't here yet. But my oldest daughter, oh, she just cried as soon as she saw me. She just cried. Daddy! 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 I don't want you to go. I thought I had to go. I thought I had to go. And then, oh Lord, I saw my son, who's a reflection of me. He was holding his head down, laying on his mattress. I said, son, are you all right? He said, yeah, I'm all right. But like I said, he's a reflection of his own dad. I knew he had a cry in him. I said, what's the problem? He just held his head down, holding his arm over his face. And I began to try to move his arm. And he put his arm right back. And I moved his arm, and that's when I saw the tears streaming down his face. And I said, son, can I tell you one thing? I know you don't want to let me see you cry. But is daddy worth any of those tears that you're shedding? And he said yes. And I said, well, you need to get on up and give daddy a hug and let me see your cry. He stood on up and walked over to daddy, grabbed me and began to hug me. My shirt was soaking wet full of tears, but that cry is what I needed. It's what I needed. It's what I needed. And I pulled off. My car was loaded. I pulled off. My son, poor son. I pulled off and I saw him. He was sitting on the stoop as I was pulling off. He was sitting on the stoop outside the house. His sister was in the house. He was just sitting there. He was just sitting there. And I pulled off. Turned the corner. And I called later on when I got to Cleveland and asked how's everybody doing. Everybody was all right. And I called and finally called for my son, and his mother said, you know, he was sitting there hoping that you turned around. But I kept on going. And I thank God, first of all, for allowing me to go and come back. Whew.